for being here today. It has been a busy day in the city of Houston. I wanted to keep you all on your toes. I thought you were too quiet for this International Women's Day, and I needed you to get busy celebrating all the phenomenal women in this world. As I shared previously today, I have accepted a new position with Springfield Public Schools in Springfield, Missouri, effective July 1. I'm really excited about the opportunity that the new school district will afford me. Together with students, staff, and families, we have navigated numerous historical challenges. We've been through weather emergencies, from Hurricane Harvey to the recent winter freeze, with days and days of no power and water. We've also been through a worldwide pandemic together. Now it's time to make a positive impact in another school district. I'm beyond honored and thankful for this new opportunity. I'm also thankful to the HISD community for an incredible 6 years. I've learned a tremendous amount and look forward to taking the lessons learned here with me to Springfield. The staff and leadership of HISD have been outstanding. I can't thank them enough for their support. Their commitment allowed us to move numerous HISD campuses out of the improvement required status, or F-rated status as we now refer to our schools. During a very short time, we solved the digital divide presented to us during a transition to virtual learning. Now, every student who has requested a computer or hotspot has received one. Since March of 2020, HISD has provided more than 145,000 laptops and tablets. We've also supplied more than 39,000 Wi-Fi hotspots. The philosophy at HISD is to support the whole child, to ensure that their academic and social-emotional needs are met, and that is what we have done. Since 2017, our wraparound services specialists have supplied resources such as clothing, rental assistance, help with utilities, food, and furniture for students and their families. During the pandemic, HISD has purchased more than $36 million of COVID-19 personal protective equipment. We have educated our children, supplied them with the equipment they needed during a historic pandemic, and made every effort to keep them as safe as possible during a challenging time. The hard work will not end today. My promise to our students, parents, staff, and trustees is that I will continue to work as hard in my final weeks here at HISD as I've done over the past 6 years. I love this district and want to see the most orderly transition possible as we move forward. I'd like to thank our board president, Dr. Patricia Allen, for being here today, and she'll provide some comments. But there are some things that I am so proud of that we have accomplished as a district. Number one, with the implementation of our Achieve 180 program, we started closing the achievement gap. We started serving the most neediest of schools in our community, and in our district's history, provided more financial resources and supports. I could not be more proud of our Achieve 180 campuses. But I'm also proud how we've expanded the International Baccalaureate program in this district. North, East, South, and West in this district, parents will have an option within the next several years to have access to a primary years program, middle years program, or a diploma or career program. That's exciting news, especially when more than 74% of our children come from homes of poverty. I'm excited about the programming that we've provided for boys of color and young women of color. Our Ascending to Men program, which provides services around enrichment, academic support for young men of color in our district, and our Roses program that provides mentoring support for young women of color in our district. But I'm also proud of our Miles Ahead Scholars program, targeted for students at Cashmere, Wheatley, and Worthing High School. Very thankful that we've been able to afford those opportunities to our students. But one of the other things I'm most proud of is during the 1920 school year, we were able to provide a fine arts teacher on every elementary campus in this school district. For the first time in over 20 years, children had access to a certified fine arts teacher. You can't beat that. But I'm also proud of our team members. To our executive leaders that are in this room and also across the district, I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for countless hours that you have given to our children and how you continue to serve our community. And finally, I want to thank the Houston community, because through the challenges, through everything that has happened, not only in our city, but in this district, you stood by us and you supported us. And I'm very thankful for that. And I wish everyone well, and thank you again for the opportunity. At this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Allen, and then we will take your questions. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Lathan, we love to see our own, and we do consider you our own. Even though you came from another place, or you're not a Houstonian, we consider you one of our own. But we like to see the fact that you glow and you grow. And we may not be able to see you for the rest of the term afterwards, and you won't be applying for our district, but we know what you can do. And we are happy that you are happy. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing for you and a curse for us. We'll have to work a little harder to find our next superintendent. But we are proud of you. We are proud of the work and the countless hours you have given to the district. I've always asked you, when do you sleep? When do you take a vacation? Because you don't. You are so dedicated. And we are proud of the fact that you are now going to be the superintendent in Springfield. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Allen. Are there any questions? Superintendent in Springfield Public Schools in Springfield, Missouri.
Did you think about staying here in Houston and applying for the permanent superintendent position?
I thought about it initially, but then I made a decision that it was in my best interest and the best interest of my family for me to move on. I have done the work here in Houston, and I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish with my team. But there comes a time when you have to look for other opportunities. And when I was contacted about considering applying for the position, and after conducting my research, I realized that was where I needed to go and where I needed to be at this time in my life.
So tell us about the process, Dr. Congratulations. Did they reach out to you? Did their firm reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? And what was the timing? Was it before or after the board decided to open a nationwide search?
Great question. So even before the board decided to conduct a nationwide search, I had been contacted previously by recruiters and continue to be contacted by recruiters. So I was contacted not only by the recruiting firm that was working on this particular for this district, but some other districts. But this district really just rose to the top of being completely aligned with what I'm looking for as it relates to being able to lead a district to the next level.
When the district decided to make this search nationwide, what kind of emotions did you have at that time? And what makes this so hard for you today? Why are you making this decision?
So emotions are not a part of it because the work has to get done. I respect the decision that the board made to conduct a nationwide search, but I also respect who I am as a leader and who I am as a woman, actually going to be the first female superintendent of that school district, and I know what my skills are. And so it was nothing personal. It was just, this is the right time to move ahead.
How will you remember HISD, and what recommendations do you have for the next person in this position?
I will fondly remember HISD. Like I said, this has been I've worked with a great team. We have outstanding teachers and principals in our districts, outstanding community members that truly support our schools. And so I will remember that I came here as an outsider, quickly became an insider, and was able to do the work that I had been tasked to do when I arrived here. I would say to the next leader, get to know all of the leaders that are currently here, to give them an opportunity to prove themselves, because that's very important. And even for me going into a new district now, I will give people an opportunity to prove themselves and to share with me. And just like I hope the new superintendent here will do, is allow people to share with him or her what their skill sets are and what they can do to help move this district forward.
Dr. Lathan, congratulations. You came into this job as the district is rebuilding from Harvey, you leave days after the winter storm. How would you describe these last 3 years as you move from crisis to crisis to crisis?
I would describe these last 3 years, like you said, as we move from crisis to crisis, as challenging, but also rewarding. Because you know what? Our team and I, we proved that we could attack a crisis head on, and we could do what we needed to do to make sure children received a quality education, and that we were able to take care of not only their educational or academic needs, but also their social and emotional needs.
And how much of your decision was based on a troubled relationship, both between you and the board, and between board members and other board members? And in answering that, what advice would you give to this board to get their act together?
Well, I would say, you know, once again, when you seek a job, you're seeking a job where you can be a part of a team and you can make a difference. And so I encourage people to grow as team members, to remember we all play a role as a member of a team, but we also have to look at our own behaviors and reflect on our behaviors and what we bring to the table, and understand that you can put aside differences and still get a job done. And so that's how I look at it, and that's how I looked when I was looking for a new situation.
Dr. Allen, question for you. As you now begin the search for Dr. Lathan's replacement, there are clear fractures on the board. How do you, as a collective body, find the right person and lead the district in a singular direction?
Well, we're actually looking for someone that is effective. We're looking for the best person for the job, no matter who that person may be. We all have the same goal in mind, and that is to find someone that's the best person for HISD.
2 questions for Superintendent. Since we're still in the middle of the pandemic, how are you going to ensure an easy transition onto the next person?
Well, number one, we're planning. We still have, like I said, we have a lot of work to do between now and July 1. Really, June 11th, if I'm not mistaken. We got to get a budget approved. And so setting someone up for success, and that's one of the things I shared with our cabinet members this morning, our principals. We have a lot of work to do between now and when the new superintendent starts, and we want to make sure that that person is set up for success. But the first step is getting a budget approved that will support the district throughout the 21-22 school year, but and beyond. So it's just not about 1 year. When you're looking at budget forecasting, you're trying to plan ahead. And we know we are headed for some tough times as a school district and also as a state financially. So we want to make sure that we present a budget, a balanced budget that can address our deficits that we've encountered as it relates to the pandemic and other situations.
One more question. In regards to the changes that are currently being made for the special education program for HISD, what are some of those changes after last year's investigation? Well,
and not so much as it's changes, it's things that we've been working on to address as it relates to concerns that were shared in the plan. We've tightened our professional development up as it relates to providing professional development not only to our principals but our teachers, but monitoring the implementation of the professional development that has been provided, ensuring that IEPs are in compliance, and so we're meeting those timelines for holding those ARD meetings, but also ensuring that students are receiving the services that they are entitled to, and then also working on communicating what has been done. Because a lot of it is we as a district, and we own that we need to make sure we're communicating the things that are occurring and holding those parent meetings so parents know what resources and opportunities are available for their children.
Do you predict the district will be able to avoid state takeover?
All of that is in the hands of litigation, so I'm not a judge, so I don't know what happens as it relates to litigation.
What do you hope happens?
What I hope happens is that this district continues to be able to move forward, and that every child in Houston receives a quality education. That is my hope for this district.
Thank you all.
Thank you.